Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zakaria Ahmed Hassan and you're watching the Youth Show here live at somalicable.tv. This show is here to help, inspire and empower young Somali people to greatness. You can call in with your success stories, we would love to hear. Have you recently passed your GCSEs with flying colours? Have you had any university offers? We would love to hear that here at the Youth Show at somalicable.tv. Likewise, are you going through any problems that you'd like to talk about? Together, me and you and the rest of the Somali nation, we can have solutions to overcome these problems. magacayga waxaa la dhahaa Sakaria Cawke. La socda barnaamijka sabti walba 6 UK time. Wassalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Waa ballanteeni iyo barnaamijkii dhalinyarada. martida barnaamijka waa safiirkeeni hore ee dalka Kenya, His Excellency Mohammed Ali Noor America. Kusoo dhawo barnaamijka.
Sakaria Ahmed Hassan Cawke, aad iyo aad baan mahadsan tahay adiga iyo Somali Cable maanta aad uga casuunteen barnaamijka dhalinyarada.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador. Today our show is live, which means calls will be coming directly in. If you have any questions you would like to pose to His Excellency Mr. America Mohammed Ali Noor, then please do feel free to do so. We would welcome any questions that you would have to his ambassador you would like to pose forward to our show. Mr. Ambassador, as a former ambassador of Kenya in Dhaka, Somalia, in which many refugees migrate to, is there anything being done for Dhalinyarada Somalia like to welcome them, to make the move, the transition easier?
Thank you very much. Again, I want to thank you for inviting me here today for your show, the Youth Show. barnaamijka dhalinyarada aad baan u soo dhaweynayaa safaaradda Soomaaliyeed ee Kenya markaan safiirka ka ahaa dhalinyarada aad baan u caawin jirnay. We used to help the youth because as you are aware of Somalia, there was estimate that census estimation that was made says that over 70% of Somali population are youth. And in that matter, I believe that the youth should be helped, should be assisted. In Nairobi at the embassy, we used to really put a lot of efforts to help the youth because we believe that they are the new generation, they are the leaders of tomorrow.
Mr. Ambassador, do you feel that there's enough opportunities for the young Somali people that are moving to Kenya or in Somalia in general, so for them to catch up and be the leading teenagers of the world? Do you think that there's enough being done in Dalka, Kenya and Somalia?
And waxaan aaminsanahay in wax badan la qabto. And I think a lot of have to be done for the youth. In Kenya, we used to really push and advise the youth to go to school and get degrees and so they can get jobs in Kenya or in Somalia. And the government really have done much to create jobs, but much have to be done. We need more. waxyaabo badan baa loo baahan yahay in shaqo abuur loo sameeyo gaar ahaan dhalinyarada si ay wadanka wax u qabtaan.
Up to you know yourself that you had a degree, you had some sort of background education. Ummada Somalia dhalinyarada as well, they feel as in they can't do what they want to do, so their parents won't allow them. You know how important education is, but also do you feel that it's important to follow your dream as well? So let the unuk do essentially what he wants to do. So if he wants to become politician, ambassador, whatever he wants to do.
Exactly, I agree with you, and I think I'm blessed. I think to have good parents. Ilahi ha u naxariisto waalidkay oo aad mataqaanaa igu adkeeyay in wax barto oo aan wixii aan rabay aan barto. Marka waalidiinta Soomaaliyeed, and I will advise them. I'm sure that, and I know that most of them do that, that they should encourage their kids to follow their dreams, to finish schools, so that they can fulfill their dreams and lead the country tomorrow.
Abti, you know yourself, you had a long time as ambassador of Somalia in Kenya. You originated in Kenya. Did you always want to become essentially ambassador of Somalia in Kenya? Did you always want to go down the politics route?
Actually, to be frank, my background is finance. I graduated in America a long time ago. In 1985, I've studied finance, and I came back to Somalia to work. I used to work at the Central Bank of Somalia, and my background was finance and accounting. But I came back to Somali politics in 1985. I mean, 2005. And I was the Director General of the former Prime Minister's office. And then I reopened the Somali embassy. Then I became a Somali ambassador to Kenya in 2007.
Abti, also you said you rebuilt the embassy. You know, essentially that's really inspirational for Dhallinyarada Somalia to rebuild our country back and to rebuild our embassy back in Kenya. Do you think, because we don't have an embassy located here in Ingriska ourselves, so do you think it's essential that we have a place where the youth, because you see other countries, such as Malaysia, they have a Malaysian embassy, Morocco, they have their own Moroccan embassy. But Somalia, essentially, Dhallinyarada, they don't know where to go to the embassy. They don't know Somalia to meet. So do you think it's essential that we build an embassy here in Ingriska for the youth?
It is. I think it's very important to have an embassy here in Ingriska, UK. For us, I can talk about what we have done while I was the ambassador, especially the youth. We used to create, games, football games, basketball games, and the weekends. We used to create Hasamanjina Kobab, Umadajina Kobka, Kodulio, Kobka, and Hasamanjina, and Kobka Somalia, and Kobka Dibushita, and Koha Ayarjiri, and see at the Matahandanera, a Wukab Galan, so that the youth can participate, and also for them is to get to know each other and help each other really.
Up to also, as you know, when you come to a new country, you don't essentially know the language. So when they migrate from Somalia, they come to Kenya and they don't speak the same language. So always like they're not essentially the same as the Kenyan people. Is there, when you were an ambassador of Somalia in Kenya, did you try and make that transition as well the same? And did you make them feel as if they were both from the same background, as if they had the same opportunities?
You know, especially the youth, the kids in the refugee camps. I used to appeal and tell the Kenyan government and the UN refugee to assist the kids, especially the new ones who come to the camps, since some of them never went to school. In Somalia, now we have government, but before, a child that was born 1991, today is what, maybe 25, 24 years old, over 20 years old. Some of them never went to school. Some of them don't have education. So when they come to the camps, I agree with you, they have to adjust. So we used to tell them that they need extra curriculum, they need extra education, and as an embassy also we used to provide them whatever they need, school books and pens and such things.
His Excellency, obviously you get these questions a lot, such as what was your biggest accomplishment as an ambassador of Somalia in Kenya? But if you would like, because we need something inspirational for the show, so if you would like to tell Dhallinyarada Somalia, what was your biggest accomplishment while you were there? I
can say Labawai, and the first one is really I feel really happy that I helped the refugees. The refugees in Dadaab and Kakuma. I have learned a lot. Not only helping them, they have taught me a lot. They have taught me how to be really to be humble, how to appreciate, and also it made me help more. It also made me to appeal to Somalis throughout the world to help them. The second, I think, achievement is when we recovered the Somali embassy property in Nairobi, which was illegally sold in 1995, and that was really a big thing. The day that we won the case, I remember December 7th, 2010, I believe. We went after we won the case. And we raised the flag again. Really, it was a good day.
That must have been, a really amazing thing to do, to raise back the flag after it was illegally sold. It's something, we want to raise the flag, Dhallinyarada Somalia, we're the next generation, so Qofkala is going to become ambassador next and ambassador next. You speak quite fluent English as well. Did you always live in Somalia when you became an ambassador, or did you migrate as well to Kenya?
Me, when I finished high school in 1980, my parents, my dad sent me to America to go to school. I was 18 years old. I went to school in America, stayed there, graduated 1985. I think I came back to Somalia. My father used to believe, and I'm happy of that. that and when you finish school, you have to come back and take part of rebuilding your country. Waa soo laabtay Somalia imid jeetan iyo lixdii bangiga dhaxaysan ka bilaabay Central Bank of Somalia, and I used to work there. I was the head of the accounting department, and after the Civil War I went back to America, and I stayed there in Canada, and then I returned 2005.
After, you said that you returned back to Somalia after you've got a degree, after you migrated, so you came to another country where maybe the education system wasn't better, and that's what we're trying to do, make the Somalian education system better. But a lot of what people forget is that they're Somali. So, marka loo migrate garayo, let's say Canada, America, England, they think they're English. Of course, you're English somehow, but also there's a sense of duty to go back.
Yes.
So, do you think that maybe more people should go back and help out our country and try and make it better as well, and make it one of the leading nations today?
I agree with you totally, and I can say that now, the last few years, many Somalis from diaspora went back, and really are staying there now, creating jobs, helping the country to rebuild. And I'm going to appeal now, take advantage of your show, that I appeal to the Somali community here in UK and throughout the world. Whoever can and whoever finished school, I appeal to them to go back home to be part rebuilding the country. Somalia askale. Cid kale ma ka sugayno inay noo dhisaan wadankeena. Wadamada deriska aan nahay, wadamada saaxiibada aan nahay, qaramada midoobay, kulli gacan bayna siinayaan, laakiin annaga waa inaan dhisnaa wadankeena, annaga waa inaan ka shaqaysanaa wadankeena.
That's something great, because especially one of the main reasons why this show is about is to inspire the youth, because we're the next generation ka qof markuu geeriyoodo, we're the next generation essentially. So maybe when our youth, we study here, we study in England, but when we go back, we should go back to Somalia, help rebuild our country a lot more. Another question, Ambassador. You recently ended your term as ambassador in Dalka, Kenya. A lot of people, what they want to know is what you plan to do next in your life.
What I am planning to do is that now, alhamdulillah, I think as you said correctly, April sanadkan ay xilka wareejiyay. kadib safar baan galay oo aan ku galay Soomaaliya, safarkii nabadda ugu gacdalay oo aan ku soo wareegay Soomaaliya, dhulka soo maray, waxbaan soo bartay, dadkii baan la soo hadlay. Many people I met, really I was really moved by how people really are very how can I say that they like the government, that they like peace to have them, and I've seen them also that there are a lot of need in those places. Example is there's need of schools, hospitals, wells, those essential needs ayaa loo baahan yahay. Waxaan ku faraxsanahay in dad badan Soomaali ah oo ganacsi ah ay sameeyeen. Dad kale insha Allah taala ciddii awoodana waxaan kula talin lahaa inay sameeyaan. Schoolka waxbarashada waa muhiim waay.
Ambassador, that brought me on to my next question, which was, a lot of the Diyar Somali waxay bartaan, they get a degree in science, engineering, whatever it is. So they're, in a sense, qualified to teach those subjects to Danyarada Somalia. So we learn from whoever's older than us. So do you think it's time that we start trusting our fellow Somalians to do the job? Because we see ourselves that whenever someone's tutoring someone, qofkaas was Somali, essentially they have the same degree as kan Adanka. They have the same degree. But because he's Somali, we can't trust him to tutor our kids. So do you think it's time that we bring that self-belief back to our own country?
If you don't believe each other, nobody will believe us. I believe that it's time that we wake up and smell the coffee and realize that we have to believe each other. Somalis, we have many professors, we have many teachers, we have many educators who really can do better job than anyone else. So we have to really help them also, that they can help our kids and give them the opportunity. I believe that they can do that. In Somalia now, there are many students who finish school in abroad and now are in Somalia. I know, and I've met many engineers. Myself now, I rebuilt my house in Mogadishu, and I give the opportunity to Somali engineers who came from abroad, and they did a good job, and we have to do that.
Ambassador, you mentioned education as being a vital part to rebuild our country, essentially. Recently, you opened up a school yourself in Mogadishu. So, can you tell us a bit about that? So, what the school does, for example, and how it gets funded?
Yeah, it's when my dad passed away in 2006, around Haristo, I became coordinator, and I have gone gari in an El Kakodo, my school is Abehi. It's a small town outside Mogadishu called Erfid. And I dig the well, and so that the people can use it for free. It's called waqf, you know, so that my dad can get the ajr for it. After I did that, I realized that there were many kids in that area who did not have school, and then I really created 4 small rooms, 1 for the teachers and 3 for the kids, and we put small chairs and desks. And I hired 4 teachers. Each room 30 kids can learn. What amazed me was that the day that we started registering the kids, 200 kids came. 200. Which is really more than we imagined. So now, alhamdulillah, the school, we have two sessions. صباحدي واحد يكتب بقول عنق قلبتي واحد يكتب بقول عنق حقولت عن العقلان and it's free for them. Alhamdulillah, me and my family, we pay for for teachers and it's free. So I'm going to appeal, and I can say that I have also visited 2 months ago. Another school like that was opened in the same area, especially the rural areas. باديها سكولات ملها سكولات بأبايهن عروتا دقن باديها waxay inoo bartaan waxay la mid yihiin kuwa jooga ma taqaana magaalada oo iskuulka haysto marka qof kasta oo awooda ayagana waxaan ugu jeedin lahaa inay ma taqaana gacan geystaan.
So Ambassador, you said you opened up a school, so School Aforte, and essentially it's free for Arorte and Kodiktan. Is there a bigger plan for Arorte and Kodiktan? So for example, how long do you think that this can carry on, and are you looking forward to opening more schools for the future for the Nyara Somalia in Somalia essentially?
Yes, this is only the elementary school. Of course, when the kids finish elementary, they have to go to intermediate, and they have to go to high school, secondary schools. And I'm talking to really business people who we want them to contribute and take part of this. It's good for them. They're getting ajr, and they're helping also the community. As I said, I want Somalis to help Somalis. I want us to help our people. And I believe that we can do it. We have many business people who are rich enough to do that. It's not a lot of money. As I said now, the 3 classes that I'm funding, each teacher gets $50 a month. 4 of them is $200. It's not a lot of money, but the 200 kids are learning every day. So again, waa inaan ku dadaalnaa sidii ardayda wax loo bari lahaa waxa weeye waa mustaqbalka dadka la hogaamin lahaa.
Ambassador, you saw a lot of stuff in your time as ambassador of Somalia in Dalka, Kenya. Can you tell us a bit about what you saw and how it made you feel, marka aragte your fellow Somalians in refugee camps, how that made you feel as a human being?
As I said earlier, xeryaha qaxootiga aniga waxay igu abuureen ama waxay u sameeyeen isbedel weyn in a positive way. It really have changed the way I live, the way I behave. It made me more humble. The other day, I think 2 months ago, I visited Scandinavian countries, Sweden, and I was meeting with Somali community. After the meeting, I've met 3 kids who stood up, and they said that we want to thank you, the ambassador and the embassy, because of the help that we came here to Sweden. We went to schools because of your assistance. That made me really feel good that we at the embassy help these kids.
Ambassador, before the show, I was doing some background reading on you, and I came across a story. You've got many inspirational stories, but I came across a story when you went to a refugee camp and you saw some people. If you would like to expand more on that story and tell Ummadda Somalia.
Yeah, and waxaa jiro qisooyin oo aniga aan kala kulmay xeryaha qaxootiga. One of them is one I met a lady. I believe she was over 7 years old, a grandmother. And that time was when there was a lot of drought and there was a lot of lack of food in the camps. And with the help, and I want to thank the Somali community in Kenya, and also from diaspora, who really sent a lot of money and contributions to the refugees. And waxaan tagnay xeelada qaxootiga, waxaan qaybinaynay raashinka markaan qaybanay ayaa waxaan la sheegay inay jirto meel ay dadka cusub yimaadaan. Waxaan dhahay meeshaan soo eegay raashinka ku qaybanay. Waan dhex lugeynayay marka. I was walking in there, small makeshift tent, you know. A lady came out and said, Ambassador Kali. And we were like 10 of us walking, and he just said, Ambassador Kali. And I went inside the tent. She said, sit down. We sat down on the floor. Waxaa la joogay wiil iyo gabar. Waxay ku tiray wiilkii gabadha ayaan ahay. And I believe they were the kids of her son or her daughter. I remember exactly. Waxay dhahay aabood way geeriyoodeen. Anaa soo kaxeeyey. And 15 days, she said, they were walking to come. And while we were talking, she was giving them anjera. A plain anjera. No sugar, no oil, no nothing, no honey, just plain anjera. She gave the first one to the daughter, to her granddaughter, and the second one she gave to her grandson, and the third one, which was the last one in the plate, she handed over to me. And me, I said, no, Edo, I need married, mubal. And she just looked at me and she said, she reminded me of my grandma. Grandmas, you know, and mothers, you know, they are so, you know, they have good heart, really. And really, she told me, and I couldn't say no to her. And I took it, but then while she was talking, I gave to the kids. What that story, shakadas, aniga igris waxa weeye qofkaas oo ayeeda ah oo laga yaabo anjaradaas halka xabba ay siisay aniga inuu yahay kii u dambeeyay ee ila qaybsatay Soomaalinimada waxa lagu garanayaa dadka inay wax siiyaan inay iskaalmeeyaan marka always waa soo qaataa shakadaas sababtoo dadka waxa la rabaa inay anaga iskaalmeeno ayeedaas ayaa garatay inay wax siiso. She understood to give me something. How about the other people who have money and who can afford? So it really was an inspirational story.
You know, Ambassador, that's something that's the Somalia, they're starting to lose generosity. Because
exactly.
Our generations backwards, Somalia, they were very generous. The people of Somalia, generally, they were very generous people. They gave in which they had as-sadaqa, zakah. Also, you know, that's a pillar of Islam. So, if anything, that would be really appealing to Danyara Somalia to give back, to donate something, or not just Danyara, the Ummah Somalia have done. So if we look at it like 1,000 people, if they give £1, that'd be £1,000 for Somalia. How much food will that give to people of Somalia who don't have anything essentially? And look at that, the last anjala that someone had, they gave to the ambassador. Maybe that was the last meal of the day, maybe that was the last meal of the week, Allahu A'lam. But you know, that's something that we need to bring back essentially in our generation of Somalia. Abti, also I came across another inspirational story in which you have many, and that's, you know, a lot of people, what they say is that Somalia, the reason why Allah Digiwaya is because really malasafin. So you've never really forgiven each other, and you know, as we know, Allah is very forgiving. Allahumma innaka afuwun kareem wa tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. So you know, if you want Allah to forgive you, you should essentially be really forgiving as well yourself. So if you would like to expand on the story of, you know, when you forgave someone.
Yeah, I agree with you, and really that ayah is very important. We have to forgive each other. I believe myself that Somalia, one of the reasons that we still don't have peace, still we are not 100%, don't have stability. waxaan aaminsanahay waxa waaye leesma cafin. Dagaal baa la galay, dagaal suuqyaa la galay, waa la isdilay. Dad diris ahaa oo walaalo ahaa oo ayaa isdilay. Waxaa la isku dilay qabiil iyo wax mataqaanaa oo aan wanaagsaneyn. And aniga shakada sheegaysid, it happened to me last year. It was September 2014. I was in Mogadishu. I was with my friends. You know, I usually go to Lido. I like to just there and watch the beach and the sea. I was having coffee, and as I was sitting on the table, this young man came to me, and he just came in front of me, said, "Are you Muhammad Al Amirko?" And first I didn't answer to him. You know, I was just a little bit hesitant, a little bit scared. You know, and then I said, "Yes, it's me." And then he changed his even tone. He said, "Adher, Palestine kara." I told him sit down. He sat down. He said that he wanted to talk to me one-on-one. So I asked my other friends to go to sit at another table. He told me that he was just being deported from Saudi Arabia. He said that he was in Saudi Arabia for over 20 years. That he went there in 1992 to look for a job. He said that he never had a decent job. That he was looking for a job, he never got, and he was always be arrested. And after 20 years of not getting a decent job and not making money, wuxuu go'aansaday in la soo tarxiilo. Wuxuu yiri waxaan imid Soomaaliya, markaan Soomaaliya imid, he talked to his parents and his relatives. He told them about his story. Waxay ku yiraahdeen waxa u tagtaa Muhammad Al Amirko. When he said that, I thought that he meant that he was looking for a job. Wuxuu dhihi doonaa shaqo ii raadi. And then he went on, told me the whole story. He said that he was part of Morian, gurigeena, guri aabbahay ilaa xita soo weeraray. Ana waa xistaa maalintaas 1992 ahayd. And gurigeyga waxaa jooga aabbahay iyo labadeeda wiil iyo gabadheeda oo jirtay 18 bilood. Her name was Yasmin. Yasmin was killed in the house. He said, and waxaa ka mid ahaa dadkii soo weeraray oo gabadha dilay. And markuu dhahay gabadha dilay, my mind went back to that day. I remember like I'm remembering now. I'm seeing everything now. I remember carrying my baby. She was just 18 months, and you know, with blood with her. And next in the afternoon, you know, putting her on the white clothes. Then I said, "Look, kanayo," and "Dugayo," you know, all the things. And I really became emotional. And I'm a parent, and you know, I loved my baby, and I started crying, and then I saw him coming in front of me, kneeling down, you know, holding my knees. I saw it tugayo, other okbariya, waxaan rabaa inaa cafisid, dhibaa hayo, and okbariya, please afi. And then I just got up. Before I got up, you know, sometimes things come to your mind. I thought of maxaa ku samaysaa, you know, ma dishaa, badda ma geysaa oo biyaha ma ku ridaa, askari ma u dhiibtaa, and all these bad things came to my mind. But alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, you know, ilaha mahadale, waxaan ku dhahay istaag. I gave him a hug, and we cried, both of us. Waxaan ku dhahay waa ku cafiyey, wax kuma qabo, laakiin waxaan dhahay duko ilaahay cafis weydiiso. And I think I did the right thing. After that, I called my wife and my kids. And they all appreciate of what I did, and they said I made the right decision. After that, a couple of months back, I had on the radio an interview I was given by someone who said that someone who killed his son came to him also with their parents, and they requested. They said that waxay rabaan in la cafiyo. Wuxuu yiri waxaan sameeyey wixii safiirka Muhammad Al Amirko uu sameeyey, ana waa cafiyo. That really made me tell the story. That's why now wherever I go to, I tell the story, because I want dadka inay cafiyaan. Dad baa wax ka diray wiilkaas hadda aniga ii yimid oo cafiska. I also give him credit. You know, soo yimaado, I could have killed him, laakiin waa credit baan siinayaa. Marka waxaa la rabaa in la sameeyo shir dib u heshiisiin oo dadka dhan isugu yimaadaan oo lagu sameeyo Soomaaliya dhexdeeda ayaa loo baahan yahay.
You know, Ambassador, wallahi, that's a moving story, you know. Because you see them, someone killed your daughter or your son or your family member even, and then wala safia. But then you see, you know, some hoyal or abayal, they fight over small things, little things that don't even matter at all. Yeah, wahala aka hal bil, laba bil, sadah bil, malas lahadliya. And as we know, you know, every isneen and khamis amal kana akor lagaya.
That's right.
And Allah rejects it, hadal islahadlin. So that's something, you know, the Somali young youth should take in. Look, سفير كان هراء وقع في قف أو delay كبديسة. that's something, you know, once you become a parent, only then you'll start to appreciate what it feels like to lose someone. And as they know, people say, you never really appreciate something until you lose it. So that's something, Ambassador, that we can all take a lesson in. And you spoke about, Ambassador, brotherhood. And you also said, or something like that. And that's, you know, because as the youth, we look up to our role models and the people older than us. And hada constantly, of what qabila you. We're never really going to learn. And you even see it nowadays, it kicked into the youth. So, wala sarka, what qabila you from? Are you Somaliland, are you Somalia? Even then, you see that Yalta once on a jira or Kuwait once on a jira are saying, what qabila are you from? So, do you think it's important that we kick out the ideology that we're all essentially Somali and we're all brothers? In Islam, if we go back so much time, we all come from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. So, do you think it's something we should unite as brotherhood, as hal ummah in us, let's go Arabiya?
وصح واي ساشكت واي أنا وأنا مثلا هي إن قبيلك إن لسكو تعرفوا على إلى قرآن كشجع and but we should not use قبيلك in a bad way. Somalia before, as I said, we used to live in Somalia in Mogadishu. I remember the house next to you, the whoever is older than you, we used to call Ader, Abti, Edo, Havarier, you know, Ayo. You know, that's how it was respectful. Anyone who kawin Edo Abti al-Hay. And in a sense, and that's kind of qabil las kuma garanaynin. And I waxa aaminsanahay that we have reached the point that we should say no more. We should stop this. We should stop this tribalism. It have to be stopped. And wa inaan ahana Somali, walaalo, kull hada laska qabta.
Ambassador, you know, you did a great thing, Marka, as well, Afisa. That's something, you know, you never know that you can do until it really comes to it. So you can say what's a man has that, but you would never actually know. And you even said after going back to the radio a couple of months, it had the domino effect. So Adia semester, and then it played off to Khofkala, Oladila, Gabadisa, Mr. Wilkisa, and then Ayaga Hatawi Afian. So if you're in a sense of authority, you should really lead by example. And that's a lesson that we should all take from Ambassador Muhammad Ali Noor. Do you think that more people, you know, for example, they should follow that? They should lead by example. Because as they say, actions speak louder than words. So instead of go out, let them see you doing something. Because that will inspire the youth in itself.
وسمعنا محل لها on my trip now my سفر كي نبدأ ملكس أنتجو ملها أنتجو that story that أد بيود يعني ملكس أنتجو and of course I become emotional when I talk about it, you know, it's my daughter. لكن ما المي حجار بس علم جري وما تخنا ودي بجرتي هذا لكن I think شكلها وحبيب بالدلسة. I believe that it will make a change. And now I will start a new campaign in La Samayo de real reconciliation, whereas we start from the grassroots. The Gmoyinka, Tuloyinka, Hafadaha, that key, there's Sahibadaha. Had work Arab. They had to come together. Let's sit down and Ahadano and Sbredino, Hadashal Abo, Hadashakesto, Kofki, Wahsemi, Kilesemi, in its Afian. إن سمي أنا إن شاء الله تعالى هذا الدولة مش غير but لكن I will start campaigning that.
Ambassador, you said you know right now you don't work for the government.
Yes.
Is that something you're looking forward to going back, or is it time's done? You know, retired, no more ambassador. I don't want to do that. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm still youth. I'm part of the youth. واللي راهي like هذا التام واحد سمينا وحوي متقنا الحمد لله اشتغلت وسوقتي دولة أوتو سقية. And hosh had or volunteer I want to continue my volunteer work now, where I want to my journey of peace and to campaign for reconciliation, to appeal to Somali community throughout the world to help each other. We need and I really believe that it's essential that now we have to start, especially the social services. As I said, I will repeat, schools, hospitals. Some people, to get water, you know, they take it takes them days, and that's not, you know, it's not good. We are in 2015. We can make them wells So we have to. So I will appeal and continue campaigning for social services.
Something, you know, that every Somali essentially should do. You know, حتى هذا bus where they said, هذا taxi where they said something, because you know people, even in England, living in England, they don't have lag than school. Essentially, the bus pass is free, how can?
Yeah.
But some people, they have to travel long distances, so bus can't take them, train. Their families can't afford it. So it's something that Somalis, you see a lot of them working in the public sector, but we should essentially advise more people to do that. Ati, you spoke about, you know, trust, how we should all trust one another. And a great example was, I was reading on it, was what you did for Gabadada. Marke Jirnet, you were in Kenya, you essentially had to meet up with people, and something tragic happened. But because out of your own heart, you stayed with Gabadada. Do you think you maybe would like to expand on that more?
It was the time of the attack of Westgate Mall. That day, you know, Westgate Mall is the mall where people go there to have coffee, you know, go to their cinemas, malls, you know, buy shops. And that day, I remember exactly, I think it was Sunday, I was supposed to meet with some friends of mine to have coffee. And I just came from my room and go downstairs to take my car. And my daughter was watching TV in the living room. And she, 2 days ago, she had her tonsils removed. And I said, how are you? She said, Abba, I'm not feeling good. So I just took off my jacket and just sat next to her. And I let her sleep on my chest, just comfort her, so that she feels better. And we just watching TV. And my friend keep calling me, and I didn't pick up the phone, just put volume. So I didn't want to interrupt my daughter rest. Then صاحبكي ayaa wuxuu soo qortay text message, wuxuu yiri TV-ga news ka fiiri. And then I clicked on the TV, I put on the news, and I saw attack on Westgate Mall. I really just jumped, and my daughter woke up. And really, I think I was lucky enough not to be there, but as an ambassador, as Somali ambassador, I condemn that act. And also, I was very bitterly upset and angry on what I saw on TV that day and the day after that. With TV, the radios were saying that this is Somalis who did this. And I was afraid that this will make a backlash to the Somali community. That in Isli and other places where Somali live, in la weeraro ayaan ka baqayay, TV-dan tagay aniga aan ka hadlay oo Kenya, waxaan dhahay aniga we condemn this, but you cannot profile Somalis. You cannot say that this Somali who did this. These are terrorist group who did this. Somali people are peace-loving people, and to show also I gave my blood. I donated my blood for the people who were injured, because Somalis also were killed in there. Some Somalis were injured in there. And also then the Somali community also followed me. They also did the same thing. Even in refugee camp, refugees donated their blood. That showed how Somalis really are peace-loving people. But at the embassy, we were always against the profiling of Somalis.
You know, stereotypes, Ambassador, is something that people should kick out genuinely. So, you know, someone did something, the rest of the people didn't. So, hal qof waxu sameeyay. Essentially, Somaliyada dhan sameeyeen. So, stereotypes is something you should kick out. But then again, Ambassador, without you even knowing, hadana, you just did something that inspired a lot more people to get together and do a small thing like Diga Khofsinasa. Diga, they gets replenished plenty of times.
Yes.
But because you did that, we looked up to you and we saw something that you did. So another thing, you know, that we should take in is leading by example, to be honest. Ambassador, another question was, you know, government ka Somalia is not essentially, you know, very strong as it could be. But there's many leaders of Somalia, as in, that want to become leaders. For example, Danyarada, they want to become the next president. They want to become the next leaders of tomorrow. Is there anything that you can advise Danyarada Somalia to do in order to fulfill that dream?
And Danyarada Somalia, what I will advise them is really to follow their dreams. Whatever you want to do, whatever you believe that you can do it, you have to follow up and really do that.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Magacadi meesha ka soo hadlaysid? Hello. 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 Unfortunately, that line didn't get through. Please do feel free to call back, and your voice will be welcome on the show. So, for example, if you have anything to ask the ambassador, if you would like to add anything to the show. Assalamu alaikum. مقعدي مشاك سهاد لسد. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. مقعدي مشاك سهاد لسد. ها وكو فاهمه هبير you know ها هبير وكو فاهمه you know
وما سنتهي صفية أدبا ما سنتهي واجب ويا واجب سنوي إن لس عاونه الصومالي واحد واجب آمين آمين ما سنتهي
Assalamu alaikum. Ambassador, you know, again and again we keep on seeing some stuff that you do, and it plays that domino effect. It helps people, and that's something we should all look forward to in a leader. You know, we want our leader to lead by example. We want our leader to be there. We want to go to him. You know, such small things that the ambassador does, such as going to Maqayat to have shah with the people, having shah with the people, interacting with the people, having their words. Assalamu alaikum. Maqadi ma shak sahal sid. السلام عليكم عبد الرحمن. عبد الرحمن هذا عودك تي في جابني كرتت. هذا عودك تي في جابني كرتت. So the connection كان نوفي عن هذا. بربر ها. خانة. ها.
هدري. ما الحين الحين لما قالني عد حلقة لما قالني كم ما تغالى ما شرحنا مدحوني. سفر كي وحوها سفر عن كمرة الصومالية سفر كاس وحوها سفر عن
عبد الرحمن هذا عودك تي في قاعد جابني كرتس the connection كان نوفي عن هذا إن شاء الله.
ما تري ان ما هو عبد الرحمن سؤال معي واقرت عبد الرحمن هي وات عبد الرحمن وقرت عبد الرحمن والسلام يا كاجي جواب واتا عبد الرحمن وما سنتهي أنا سفر كي أو كمرة الصومالية وحوها سفر أو معدل سفر كي نبدأ وأن ودن كي أن دتكي أن لهد لاي دتكي أن روبا غاية نبدأ إن له شيء إن لقاش غاية نبدأ إن هدي له تخبطه أن نجوا حين حل السنة وأن نبدأ كدر أيوة سفر كي وحكي الماهن.
جزاك الله خير أمباسادور. برنامج كان دنيا هذا أو كل ساعتين تلفزيون كصومالي كيبل تي في. وحمد قار أدريا سفير كان هراء دولة كينيا His Excellency Mohammed Ali Noor America. Thank you for joining us today. Also another special thanks to the people here at Somali Cable TV, the management, the cameramen and everyone else who made this program run as smoothly as possible. Also تعسي وحربة ناظرة ولكن كبين عبد الرشيد فيدو أبيه ساحل جريودة أو كجريودة دولة كينيا ألها ونحرسته ألها جنة كورابية ألها جنة الفردوس ألها كذكة أنت هسنكو أكتهاي دنيا رادنا برنامجك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Zakaria Ahmed Hassan and you're watching the Youth Show here live at somalicable.tv. This show is here to help, inspire and empower young Somali people to greatness. You can call in with your